Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Matt. Also with me, as usual, for this co-hosted part of the segment is Ogenix and Azina.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
A little bit of a less of an accent this time, I see. So we just finally watched it as a group together, the first Predator movie. Honestly, a bit of a classic, if you will. I'll give you my first impressions. I've seen this movie. I don't even know how many times. I believe the first time I saw this one all the way through was probably on the USA Network back in the day. The 80s and 90s were a fantastic time to watch television because you actually could get whole movies once in a while, although they
Oh
would
my
be chopped
god.
up a bit.
I have
For
such amazing memories of the USA Network in the 90s.
Oh yeah, they had some of the best action flicks on there.
Like I
uh,
said,
for
that was where Hercules and Xena was.
Oh, that
for
too. Yeah,
for me, it was probably on the TNT when they had one of their mini
TNT would
horror
go
or sci
on little late night
horror
runs too.
monster. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh
especially
yeah,
when
the
they
horror vision stuff. Yeah,
or their Monster Vision, which
Monster
was always my
Vision. Yeah.
favorite because of course that's where I would learn Godzilla.
Anyway, that's a bit of an aside, but still, yeah. Back in the golden age of actual good television when they played the really good movies, um, this was one of them that would make it almost constantly on there to the point that I finally caught it all for the most part. I do know that my neighbors had a VHS tape, and then by the time I was in college, I was finally collecting stuff for myself, and this was like the first like 20 DVDs I got. Still have it around somewhere. I believe it's right over behind the CD collection here. With the rest of the sequels that I currently have, I'm missing only one, the most recent one. But yeah. If nothing else, if for nothing else, this movie alone is the reason I keep collecting the franchise and just hoping that the rest of the sequels will kind of pull along. There's some good ones. There's some bad ones. We'll get to them eventually, but I honestly think this is definitely a hard one to fill the same shoes of. This is a really good action flick. It has really good horror elements to it, amazing sci-fi elements, and some really crazy world building for the alien that's in it for the Predator
Yeah.
of the
Also,
title.
also, it's just so many good build-ups. It's like even
Mhm.
if you have one really good build-up in a movie, this one has like three or four of them
Yeah,
because
you got a good character build up. You got good again understanding what this monster is build up going on in the background, and you have constant updates on what their situation is. So you're constantly building on the tension from that, and then what is actually going on around them. Just so much good stuff going on in this movie. Just so meaty, and they don't waste any time. They also literally cut it down to the bone and just go, "This is how much we need," and go.
I mean,
So
hell, the Predator isn't even the major
threat at the beginning.
thing
No,
until
yeah,
until the halfway point of the movie, and even then, you know it's there, but it doesn't do anything because that's not how it works. The whole point is it's
it's
watching you.
waiting. It's
It's
watching.
it's
It
it's it's, it's
wants its right time.
yeah, and I love that. It makes
Waiting,
because it adds the mystery, but also the threat that this thing has will become.
waiting for the right moment to steal their pancakes.
And their
That
corpses.
I'm
that too.
Pancakes and corpses. Pancakes in the morning.
that
Um,
damn delicious corpses.
so I guess we'll go to eugenics. Your overall thoughts, even though you probably shared some of it.
Well, I mean, one thing I love is that it was made in the same year I was born. um,
Always a bonus.
but yeah, it was like when I first saw this. This was probably like in my top, even before I had like a list or anything. But this was just easily became one of the a little group of movies I just love to rewatch over and over. Any chance I could get to catch it on TV. It was this one. It was Predator, Aliens, Transformers the movies, Terminator 2. It was just that big group of action, sci-fi, and even small degree horror. Um, it just had everything I liked. Good action, good fun characters, good music, good ambience, good tension, and and of course being I was young, I probably didn't fully understand what it was about. I was enjoying it outside of just oh, cool, explosions, fighting, woo! It's because
Big ugly monster, oh my god!
but and of course, later as I'm getting older, I mean, there were times I was rooting for the alien. Like, I know I'm supposed to be rooting for the good guys, but I mean, the alien's cooler. Um, and then, and as an adult, when I watched this, I just enjoyed for just all the elements that we sadly just do not get to see in movies as much anymore, or have just outright been forgotten. Small little details, subtlety, the little attention to details that you probably wouldn't notice, or unless you actually pay close attention. How the characters actually watch and learn themselves, including besides the predator himself, how Duke's character, by way it's just him left alive, he's figured out the little hints and clues of how the predator works. It's just fun. You want to feel tense, you'll feel tense. You want to watch the action, you'll have a good time. You just want to see a guy get his ass whooped by a predator that's 3 times his size.
Oh,
Well,
you're
good
gonna
news for
have a
you.
good final quarter there.
um, and then in the end, when the predators, the hero defeated the alien, and he's just standing over his body, bleeding, and just going, who are you? And as the predator sets off the explosive device and starts using Billy's scream, as it slowly, as it's the predator's voice at first, so it's very, very, was almost very hollow but terrifying. But as it slowly develops and sounds more like Billy's voice coming out of the predator's mouth, you're just that was chilling.
Yeah, Billy's laugh is
Um,
always freaky. Um,
but just it had everything I like in movies, especially that type of movie. And of course, it was also my introduction to Arnold Schwarzenegger, as this was the first I ever saw with him, being in it. So that also started a trend for me. um,
oh,
Also, probably just also my fascination with aliens in general, because aliens are cool. Uh, so yeah, just looking, even while I do like most of the sequels, except for the exception of maybe one or two. Um, as far as I'm concerned, this is just a masterpiece in terms of what it did or created, and
mm,
all the other movies having to build from that, which is good. But of course, sadly, that means unless they have something new, it just feels like a repeat, which is not a
no,
bad thing in itself. But overall, great movie.
just don't beat the dead horse.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, so Azina, thoughts?
It's really weird going back and rewatching a movie like this after watching so many more modern movies and just realizing that there's the art of filmmaking that's just kind of gone in a lot of modern stuff. It's like
Mm-hmm.
this movie is a masterpiece, and it's weird that I had to watch it for my fourth time to really just have that sink in because like it's been so long since I watched this. It was almost like watching a new movie again. I knew where the plot was gonna go, but like I didn't remember most of the in betweens. And like just the fact that the movie has an art of visual storytelling where you have to see what's happening on screen, you figure out what's going on without somebody saying out loud what just happened. Like when Arnold figures out that the predator sees people based on heat and the fact that he has mud smeared all over him, making so the predator can't see him. He figures it out and he starts acting on it without anyone saying out loud what's going on. You have to actually be paying attention and put two and two together yourself. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of movies won't do that now. They'll say out
Like,
loud what you're watching.
as a matter of fact, for that particular scene, as the predator's walking away, I'm pretty sure the only thing that's said is he couldn't see me, as he then looks down at himself and scrapes off some of the mud and then looks back up again. That's the
Yeah,
last bit of dialogue he gives then until he gives a shout to try and get the predator's attention as he sets up the bonfire.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just it's the point where you remember that movies are actually an art form. when you don't have a freaking shareholder demands deciding
Hmm.
what's going to happen in the movie. It's just weird just seeing things that you just and really like I said, you do still see some of this in like indie in like smaller movies, like indie movies. You just do not see it in like the big budget blockbusters anymore.
No, it's got to make a profit.
Well, yeah, and they literally have to explain to everything because as far as Hollywood's concerned,
Girl,
the
dogs,
modern
rocks, and you
audiences
need
are,
everything explained to you.
yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much.
you wouldn't figure it out if they didn't say it out loud. And I do know there are people that are like that can't, because
Yeah,
there have been times where I've watched a movie with my dad and I had to explain what happened because he just didn't figure out what I thought was obvious.
yeah,
But
mhm.
uh, it's a it's just a great movie, and the thing is, I think the main reason that the sequel gets got some slack like it did is because it's following up such a amazing movie.
Mhm.
And it's very hard to do. And to be honest, even though it may have been hated at the time, I think the opinions on it have turned very radically,
Well,
especially
yeah,
after
Yeah,
how
because
some other sequels have gone now.
yeah,
he,
exactly.
and not just even just with the Predator franchise, to see how many other movies have just taken a terrible turn in their sequels. It's like you can look at that and go, yeah, we didn't do that bad.
No, we did pretty good on that second outing. Third one wasn't too bad too. At least the one that's actually the main franchise. Those other side ones, oh boy.
I mean, hell, I mean, looking back at it now, it was actually kind of being clever. You went from you went from a green jungle to a concrete jungle. So it
Ooh,
says, and where at least now all the other sequels, they kind of want to just keep
had a
going back to the
title
jungle.
drop. I believe that was the second one. Was called the Predator 2 Concrete Jungle.
I think in some places it was called that, but
I
I
think
think in
some
just
places
the
it was called
U.S.,
that. Then some places it just called it 2. Yeah.
yeah, they just
Yeah,
call it too.
I think its official title is just Predator 2. Like some places did drop a subtitle on it to try and market it.
Yeah.
A little bit. I think maybe some of the VHSs had that subtitle to it for some reason. Something along those lines. Um. Anyways, anything else?
No, I can't think anything else to really say about it. It's hard to come up with stuff to say about a movie that's perfect.
Yeah, pretty much. It
That's why this is
is.
probably going to be a short episode, even though we rambled a little bit. But yeah, it's just such a dang good movie. It is one part, a tiny bit of pinch of horror with one part action and one part sci-fi. And you would think, especially a action jungle survivor movie would by no means any way collage well with a monster of the week kind of sci-fi plot with a creature just hunting people down in the local area, but they managed to make it work amazingly well. Although I will also say they had a lot of technical issues just trying to get to that point too, like the entire costume change, recasting. One of the main cast did get injured on set while they were doing stuff. Fire ants are not to be laughed at. Um, and just a number of things that could have gone wrong or even worse, but cool heads prevailed, and amazing film came out of such a hodgepodge mess behind the scenes. So with that said, favorite scenes, I guess we'll start with Vazina.
The hand gear sort of made okay. My favorite scene was the part where wait, what was Jesse Ventura's character named?
Oh,
Blaine.
Blaine.
Was when Mac was kind of having like a moment to mourn the loss of his friend Blaine, where it's just something you don't see in a lot of like horror
And again, it
and
was
even
more of
some
a
actual more
visual and musical audio, not even like talking, just
yeah.
a quiet moment.
It was just like a moment of silence where he's mourning his friend, takes a sip of the drink, and then leaves the bottle with him and puts the cloth over him to lay him to rest. And it's just Because you know how many times you watch something like any of like the big horror movies, like Halloween or Friday the 13th or any of that stuff. Somebody dies, and the first one of you actually cares about them is like, no, so and so, and then they're never mentioned again for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Whereas Blaine's death is brought up at least several times afterwards.
Yeah.
Because
More
that
so
was
than the
important.
first
That was
guy.
part of the info that they got off what this creature is.
Mm-hmm.
How did it get his body? How did he manage to get him? Why did we not actually hurt it very much?
It's just one of those things where it's like, you know, normally I like the really cool scene or the funny scene, but this is I just liked the nice touch that it added.
But a nice human touch for, especially for Mac's character, as he's going to get more and more emotional about what's been going down.
Because, like I said, there's a lot of horror movies that just don't actually stop to think about stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think it elevated the story that was happening, because they did a good job of making you actually care about the characters before they died, which is another thing a lot of horror movies do not do. Oh, here's this random group of obnoxious teenagers that just want to fuck each other. Watch them die.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you piercing me or am I piercing you? Yoink.
It's like Tory teenagers. I consent. The killer shows up. I do not.
I didn't consent.
Yeah. I don't know if that was my favorite scene.
Alrighty. So, Eugenix.
It's a hard one because
good movie.
Just everything is good. It's like it's just hard to pick one. But if I really do, actually, easy choice now. I have to think about it now. It's basically the final fight between the Predator and Arnold's character, Duke. Was it Duke or Dutch?
Dutch.
Dutch. Because I said Duke earlier. Dutch. When the Predator literally has Dutch in his palm of his hand, but because Dutch has proven himself to be such a worthy hunt, the Predator decides to fight one-on-one, fair and square, on even ground, just hand-to-hand combat.
Drops him down, removes the weapons, and even removes the tech mask, and just his basic infrared, and just goes at him.
Yeah. The only thing he keeps is the blades, but he doesn't even pulls those out until he wants to go for the killing blow.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just he's just punching. But of course it also shows just how much in terms of strength we are a human is compared to a predator. And holy moly, as Dutch put it, bad idea.
Run.
But it's just the fact. It's related to how Azina points out. It's visual storytelling. The Predator just holds him, could kill him, but doesn't. He puts him down, takes a few steps away, takes all of his tech off, and then just says, "Let's fight."
Big roar, and it comes at him.
Yeah, I love that.
I have to say, for a visual perspective, one of the biggest scenes for me is the first time we actually see it. All of a sudden, we have a chase scene going on in the jungle. The lead female escapes. She's technically an enemy combatant, even though she's more or less a civilian kind of level. But as when the soldiers finally gets a hold of her, all of a sudden they hear something. They both stop and turn. Suddenly, he's knocked backwards. She's splattered with blood. His body's on the ground, and suddenly this half-invisible thing grabs him by the legs and just yanks him into the brush. Only thing they can find a few moments later is, like, some of his internal organs on the ground. He's gone. What the hell was that? What did we just see? Where did it go? The only thing they can explain it, and the only way she can explain it, is by saying the jungle came alive and it took him. Crazy stuff, and an epic start for what's going to be a slow evolution of revealing what this creature really is by the time you get to the end. So I think that's about it on this one.
The uppers.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Predator for you. I hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you all later.
Bye-bye.
Later.